I get to meet a lot of really cool people in my industry and my line of work, and Tom Morris is certainly no exception. He is the director of high performance for Penn State University and its 31 varsity teams and over 900 athletes, and I have the distinct pleasure to be interviewed by him on his Instagram. We did a live Instagram on Tuesday, March 18th, and this is a replay of it, and next time I want to interview you, buddy, but really appreciate the opportunity to be interviewed for this. Check it out. Let me know what you think, and put in the comments any information that you'd like for me to provide for our next interview.
Enjoy. Hello, everyone. Coming to you live this afternoon from the weight room here in Penn State. Pretty fun little afternoon. We got a great guest on here. We got Shayne, who's from H2 Water Expert, dealing with hydrogen water. And man, super excited to get to talk to him. Here we go.
My guy,
how are you, sir?
I'm well. How are you?
Oh my God, it's so great to have you here today.
Oh,
this is
man, I'm so excited.
I was the same way. I'm like, man, I can't wait to dive into this with him and kind of talk some stuff, just figure out a little bit more, and get it rolling.
Yeah. So how are the tablets?
Tablets are going well. I was just talking to Jill right before we jumped on here. Start telling about it. So we're about, I think I'm 2 days in. She's like she's 2 days in as well. So
yeah,
it's pretty cool. So far, so good. So good. We were just discussing though, making sure that we had filtered water before we putting the tablets in. So.
I was wondering if you guys had that conversation yet, because I was going to bring that up. Yep. We had a good conversation about that. She's like, "Oh, I just used water from the fountain." I'm like, let's not do that again. Filtration is always, that's the first part of the conversation when it comes to any type of water, but especially hydrogen water. Yeah. Hydrogen, the molecule H2, molecular hydrogen, is going to make the water more bioavailable for your body. Same with everything else that's in the water.
Yeah.
Right. And so the last thing you want to be doing is making arsenic and mass amounts of chlorine and trihalomethanes and fluoride and stuff more bioavailable for your body. So filtration is key and very important.
Yeah, very simply put, for all of the big terms, it's when you open it up, you're going to absorb all the other crap that's in that water, and that's what we're going to shy away from. So, I'm excited about it. We're going to give good feedback on here as time goes on, and man, super excited about it. So today I wanted to jump in here and not only talk water, but I want to talk about you, kind of your own individual journey, kind of what brought you to this point. And the kind of your own roadmap of how you've gone down the hydrogen water route. So if you wouldn't mind just giving us a little insight on you yourself.
Yeah, 100%. And I appreciate the opportunity to do so. So, I mean, in 2013, I was in a really bad ATV accident. So I fractured my skull, got traumatic brain injury, almost broke my C1, C2 vertebrae, which, that's the same thing that Christopher Reeves, the original Superman, happened to him. And, at best, had I not died, I would have been, a quadriplegic breathing through a tube. And so I'm very, very blessed, very, very grateful. Someone was watching over me for sure. And I realize now I hadn't fulfilled my purpose here yet. And it took me almost dying to realize while I was in the hospital at 27 years old, that I was on Nexium, which is prescription heartburn medication. I had a higher resting heart rate, higher blood pressure. I could lift heavy things up and put them down, but that didn't mean that I was healthy by any means. And so at that point, I started looking at my health a little bit more. I realized, okay, if I'm going to look at anything, water and hydration is a pretty big aspect of it. My buddy had been trying to sell me a water machine from a network marketing company for years. I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. Water's water.
Right.
Obviously, I know that's not the case now. And so I ended up buying one of the network marketing machines. It's a popular machine out there. It's an alkaline water ionizer that I realized after wasn't filtering the water properly, which I didn't know at the time how important it was. But, that's once I learned, I had to move on to other things. While I was doing that, though, as mentioned, it's an alkaline water ionizer. I was doing the dog and pony shows, showing everybody the pretty colors of the pH scale, not knowing that it didn't have as big of an impact on our health that I realized it's not about the pH. I started researching ionized water, electrolyzed reduced water, alkalized water, and then came across and learned about molecular hydrogen and how it gets to the root cause of why people are trying, going the alkaline route to begin with. Like, yes, many people live in an acidic environment due to the foods that we eat, the drinks that we drink, the air that we breathe, but just looking at the pH is kind of scratching the surface. And I realized this, and I was okay. This has potential, but if this is really going to take off the way it should, scientists and doctors and professionals like yourself need to need to sign off on it first. And, you talk to doctors and stuff and they'll be like, don't waste your money. It's the alkaline water thing is just a scam. And I mean, that myth has been debunked many times. I do that as a career now. And I said, it's probably because it's either because it's the network marketing company or it's because most people are still talking about the alkalinity. And, but then you go to the website of the company that I was selling for, and it doesn't say anything about hydrogen at all. So I was promoting it, but I realized I didn't have the technology, the means to actually create it properly.
Right.
And so
Shayne, let me pause you right there because I don't want to fast forward too much here because ATV accident happens, dramatic brain injury. Now you're in this quest. From how I'm hearing it is, water is like it's the foundation of life. We all need it. A majority of our bodies there. So it sounds like now you're in this exploration of trying to figure out if I got to get water in there, if I need to get recovered from this injury, how do I get the purest and the best bang for the buck water? Walk me through that part, like that part where you're like, man, I got something, dramatic brain injury going on. This could be a major part of my recovery.
That's it. That's exactly my thought process. And I do credit the water that my change in water to the overall change in my life. I haven't taken a Tums or a Rolaids in over a decade now. In terms of, I also used to have psoriasis on my scalp. I don't have that anymore. And in terms of, with traumatic brain injury, the accident happened 12 years ago. A lot of times with brain injury, you don't start seeing the repercussions of it for 10 to 15 years. So I'm right in that spot now. I'm very, very happy that I've taken the steps that I have to prevent any of these, issues that come up later on in life. Yeah. I do very much credit. It's not. It's not like, I started drinking a bunch of water. Because, we hear, drink 8 glasses of water a day. What I've learned is it's not how much water you drink, it's what kind of water you drink. And that was key for me. And it's like you said, it's a foundation. It's not everything. You still need proper supplementation. You still need to eat healthy. You still need to be active and exercise. But it's without hydration. Your body's 70 to 75% water. Right. You're not. It's a big part of the equation.
So what is this? So with the hydrogen water, what is it exactly doing that is such a health benefit?
It reduces oxidative stress in a way that other antioxidants don't and can't. When I say don't, I mean that it only scavenges for the most cell-damaging free radical in your body. What's cool is that when it neutralizes that, it actually converts it into water, which hydrates you at a cellular level and allows your body for a very easy way to expel the now neutralized free radical out of your body. But it's also, because of its molecular structure. I mean, it's H2, molecular hydrogen, it's the smallest element on the periodic table. It has the ability to permeate your skin barrier, your blood-brain barrier, and get into areas and places in your body that other antioxidants simply can't. Yeah. And what's really cool about it, that's incredible on its own. However, what I find more fascinating about it is that when it reestablishes, when it takes care of that oxidative stress, it starts reestablishing a balance in our cells that many people have lost. And then once your cells are balanced, your body starts operating the way it should, meaning your anti-inflammatory pathways open, mitochondria function increases, NAC and NAD levels go up. What does that mean? Better energy, better sleep, improved cognitive function, better recovery from exercise. There are human studies on its ability to mitigate lactic acid, and it's even gone a step further from that now in timing the hydrogen. I've been big into bodybuilding and powerlifting and stuff, lifting heavy things up and putting them down. And if you're in a hypertrophy stage where you're really trying to build the muscle, oxidative stress and inflammation could be a benefit at points. So you take hydrogen a half an hour before you work out and not for 6 to 8 hours after. So that's really cool. But that's what's fun about hydrogen and the emerging market that it is and has created, is that we're figuring all this cool stuff out, knowing that it's extremely, extremely safe. There are no adverse effects to adding too much hydrogen. Keep this in mind. Your body is meant to create 10 liters of hydrogen a day. We eat foods and they go into your stomach and create different gases. Some of them are more funny than others. One of them should be hydrogen. But again, due to the damage that we've done to our guts from the foods that we eat, the air that we breathe, the overall stress in life, our bodies aren't creating that amount of hydrogen. Yeah. And so go ahead.
No. And that's what, so it's our body doesn't respond, or our body doesn't create that much, but the hydrogen, it sounds like, so when you combo the hydrogen with water, water, we always, in the world of sport, we're always trying to use that as the filter. We're using it as a promotion of performance, but we're also trying to get it to flush our body, to kind of regenerate, use it as a regenerative thing. And so what I'm hearing is that hydrogen itself, with the combo, the hydrogen and the water together, it's almost a great filtration of the cell from a really intracellular level that's allowing the body to really flush from a base level. And basically it's returning it back to dare I say, almost like a normal function of what the cell is supposed to operate.
Homeostasis.
Yeah.
Homeostasis, balance. It is returning it back to its normal function. It's creating what I like to call an optimal terrain for your body. We're talking about bioavailability earlier. We talk about that in the supplements and things that we ingest. What about making our bodies bioavailable? Meaning ready to take in what it needs and ready to kick out what it doesn't. Yeah. It's wild how powerful our bodies actually are and how much we've completely forgotten that.
Yeah. It's amazing when you're at that homeostasis, when you're at that readiness, you're recovered enough to be able to go, but you're at a state of not hypersensitive, but you're at that point where you're ready. Man, it's unbelievable how your body actually functions. But the challenge is that we run in a world that we're always in these intense states from a physical and even a mental standpoint that allows you to never fully be in that place of homeostasis. We're almost here all the time.
Well,
So
it's death by 1,000 cuts. Right. There's a bajillion different things coming after us. The thing is there's a million different problems in the world, but for every problem there is a solution. What I've found is a big problem is, one, our water and the quality of the water, and then two, this imbalance that we have at a cellular level. I'm a big believer, if you work from the inside out, you get the best results.
And so with this, with the water, what you're all doing, it isn't just hydrogen. It is the filtration of those chemicals, such as the chlorine and some of the other chemicals that are found in water. Mm-hmm. Obviously it's there for good reasons to sanitize and to make it safe. But it's also, nonetheless, it's still a toxic chemical when ingested, at a certain level in our body.
Yeah, I did it. I did a live video about that just the other day about there's a study that came out about chlorine in our water. And while, like you said, it's good to kill bacteria, make sure that we're not getting E. coli from our tap water, it comes with its own problems. For every action, there's a reaction, right? And so what happens when you put the chlorine in the water and it mixes with organic matter like sticks and twigs and leaves, it creates what's called trihalomethanes. And the relation between chlorine and cancer, there's thousands of studies, but also now trihalomethanes. And chlorine's original use was actually as a herbicide. And now it's what delivers our water to our homes with, again, not getting us sick. That's really the purpose of that, and fluoride as well in the water. But there's so many things. We talk about chlorine, fluoride. Some people are talking about heavy metals or PFAs, that forever chemicals. That's become a thing that people are talking about. Microplastics as well. Arsenic being a big one. What often gets overlooked, actually, though, is pesticides, herbicides. I live in British Columbia. There's a lot of farming area around here. There's way more pesticides and herbicides in our water than many people would like to admit. Right. But also prescription and OTC drugs. The amount of women that are on birth control, 10% of that is actually getting absorbed into their body. 90% of it is going back into the water system. That gets recycled. And it's very small amounts over time that build up to, it's actually a pretty big problem that the municipal water treatment systems are not dealing with. They want to make sure you don't get sick, like from E. coli or listeria or something like that. Mm-hmm. But in terms of your overall health, they're not doing anything for that.
So what is the filtration system that is, like, how does your filtration system even take all of that out? Like, does it take all of it out? All of those?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so the one that we're talking about for the Recovery Center, and also the one that Jill and I are talking about, these are from Tech for Health. That's where you got your tablets from, and we'll be working on other things with. So for many years, I've said, the good thing about reverse osmosis is it takes everything out of your water. The bad thing about a reverse osmosis is it takes everything out of your water. And so remineralization is extremely important when it comes to reverse osmosis systems. Mm-hmm. But I also didn't like how most RO systems look like bombs that need to be dismantled. They're hooked into this big tank. And, if that tank runs out of water, it takes hours to refill. And before that runs out of water, that's dead water just sitting there. Like, that's not water you want in your body. We do have to remember that water and everything is and has energy. And needs energy, and it also needs those minerals in there for conductivity. Not for you to get your daily source of minerals or anything like that. In order for you to get your daily source of minerals from water, you'd have to drown yourself first. But it's like water is the foundation to our optimal health. Minerals are the foundation to healthy water, and as they create the conductivity. So with our our RO system that Jill and I were talking about yesterday that I highly recommend you guys getting for at least the meantime, so you guys have a really good source of filtered water, that it will take up to 1/10,000th of a micron, so 0.0001 microns out of the water. Just for reference, a human hair strand is between 50 to 70 microns. Mm-hmm. Now, yours looks a little bit healthier and thicker. Yours is probably going to be about 70 microns. I'm going to be about closer to 50 microns.
Right.
You know, this is the way she goes. But 0.0001 microns, like everything out of the water. It's also tankless. So it's not this big, huge, godly setup. Mm-hmm. It's one machine. It goes and it hooks up to a digital faucet that reads the total dissolved solids, the TDS, going into out of your water, so you know it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. It tells you when you need to change the filters. Also, a big, huge problem with the RO systems is you have 5 to 7 of these different filters. You don't know when to change them. You don't know how to change them. Ours is a 3-second filter change and is very, very cost effective. It is a Ferrari of RO systems. And awesome. And what we also have that's not on the website yet that you guys found out about was the RO system that also has the hydrogen proton exchange membrane in it. So you've seen those bottles on like all over Instagram and TikTok and and stuff like that. It's like having one of those, but on steroids inside the machine. So you have the option to do just straight remineralized RO water, or remineralized RO water with a super saturation of hydrogen, the most amount of hydrogen that you can get into water right at your fingertips. Absolutely awesome. Incredible technology.
So, and I know, busy on here, so we'll wrap it up soon or in a couple of minutes, but what can someone expect by taking hydrogen water in? I mean, what can the average person, what can elite level athletes, what's the return on the investment of not only investing in a water, the hydrogen water, but also just the fact of the intentionality behind ingesting hydrogen water? What does that look like for people down the road?
I love that question because I don't have a real answer to it, and that's why I love the question. Because whether you are an elite athlete looking to get your position in a professional sports league, or trying to get into the Olympics, or you're dealing with stage 4 cancer and you're just trying to recover and get your health back, there's a purpose and place for hydrogen therapy in either side and everyone in between. That's what I love. I mean, when it comes to water, no matter what, you're always going to need good quality water. That's just life. Yeah. Aside from air to breathe, the quality of the water that you drink, I mean, it's the 3-3-3, right? You know, you can go 3 weeks without having food. You can only go 3 days without having water, and 3 minutes without air. And so what people can expect, like I said, I like to wrap it up with just one word: balance. What that actually means to you is going to be individual to you. You know, for an athlete, they're going to experience much better recovery. 100%. Especially, I mean, just with drinking hydrogen water alone. Mm-hmm. If you bathe in hydrogen water, you're increasing that, 10 times. When I first started drinking hydrogen water, my ISSA certified buddy of mine created a workout plan for me, as if I was on 400 milligrams of testosterone, because of the recovery that I get from hydrogen. And I don't juice, I water. Not that I'm not against TRT when done properly for the right person. I am a supporter of figuring out what is blocking your androgen receptors before going and pumping yourself with something that is foreign to your body. Yeah. But there's different methods to the way people do things. But yeah, what increased energy, better sleep, better cognitive function, better skin, 100% clearer skin.
Yeah.
A reduction in inflammation. huge reduction in inflammation. And just, I cannot emphasize balance enough. We live in the world of alkaline diets, and it's like, I'm here to tell you that yes, on this side of the equation, you have acidosis. That's the common one. That's what a lot of people that are filling their gullet full of food-like products and sugary energy drinks and stuff like that. That's where they are. But on the other side of things, you also have alkalosis. Albeit this side in the society that we live in is much harder to achieve, but it comes with the same amount of problems. Right. Where you want to find yourself is here in the middle. People talk about pH in their bodies, especially with alkaline water, and believe me, the pH of your water isn't doing anything to your body's pH. And when we're talking about body's pH, what part of your body are we talking about? Are we talking about your stomach? Because that's 1.8 and needs to be 1.8. Are we talking about your skin? Because where are we talking on your skin? The skin on your face is about 6.5, where the skin on the rest of your body is 5.5. I think what a lot of people are talking about is your blood's pH, which is got to be between 7.365 and 7.465. Anything outside of that you're going to be sick. But again, anything outside of that, on either side, whether you go above 7.465 or below 7.365, you're going to be sick. It's just going to hit you in a different way.
Yeah. Dude, this is awesome. I look forward to continuing more conversations. We got our hydrogen pills in, so we're going to try this and see how we feel, and we'll just keep exploring what this means for us. So, man, I appreciate your time today and your wealth of knowledge. There's no doubt you're very well read, and this is great stuff. So, hey man, give these guys a follow. Like I tell you what, Shayne he knows his stuff, but his Instagram and all your social media, it's just so informative as far as good quality products, but also the knowledge behind why to do it. So I appreciate
that very much.
And, we'll keep in chat.
Yeah. I'll just remind you, leave it with one last thing to remind everybody that if you don't filter your water, you become the filter for your water. Cheers, brother. Appreciate you. Thanks, man. You too.